What? I said, are you ready? Yeah! Get stealing, woo, wheeling, dealing. The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning. But brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad.
I'm the man of the hour, the man with the power. Too sweet to be sour.
This is going to be a slobber knocker.
Welcome to The Grill Out. From the heart of Shillian, West Virginia, here's your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of The Grill Out, episode 19. I am your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty, Trailer Park Jeff Petty. I don't know. I'm coming up with all these different names. And my illustrious co-host, both of them, who are just the embodiment of chaos and giving me gray hairs. Josh Cole, not Bebe, or Bebe. The belt collector, our belt collector.
The world champion.
The Grill Out predictions champion.
World champion. We got listeners in Austria and the UK.
We do. We actually do have listeners in Austria and the UK, and hopefully they're not bots.
Yeah.
He's also our belt expert, Josh is. And then I go over to the one who gives me the most gray hairs, the one and only Jason, the jury's still out if we like him or not, Lykens.
Yeah.
Had to get that in there at the very beginning. So real quick, before we dive into anything, we do have a sort of a programmer's note. We will not have the podcast next week due to Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, the three of us talked about it. We're going to take the week off.
Yeah.
Enjoy y'all's Christmas, Hanukkah, holidays, whatever you do to celebrate.
You realize Hanukkah's over now.
Oh, right? Hanukkah's over? Okay, I did not know that. But anyway.
How do you not know that?
Because I'm not Jewish.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's simple to follow when Hanukkah is.
I don't because I'm not Jewish.
Yeah, but then you say things like, and hope you all can have a Merry Christmas or a Happy Hanukkah. Oh, Hanukkah's happened. Well,
you know what? If you celebrate Hanukkah, I hope you had a happy Hanukkah. Is that better?
From you, Jeff, yes. Josh, why? Why do you got to do that? I mean, Hanukkah is a lovely holiday.
Yeah. Exactly. It is.
Yeah, and you're over there just, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. I don't know.
Wait, can I turn off his mic from here?
Oh, I think you can. Josh, go ahead and speak.
Hello.
Oh, no, it don't work.
No, but I can turn mine off.
Yeah. That's what it was. Okay, but yes, programmer's note, we will not have a podcast next week.
No.
We will come back on December 31st, New Year's Eve. And we're going to have sort of a special episode.
Yeah.
It's something that we've been working on for the past couple of months.
Is it?
It's been a few months.
What is it?
Do you want to go? Do we want to announce what it is?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's going to surprise anyone. No one listens.
Well, yeah, we got six listeners.
Yeah, that guy in Austria will want to know.
Yeah,
no, that's true.
He's sitting there like, tell me.
So we are going to do sort of we're not going to do our normal episode like we do with the news and the middle part.
Podcast boy.
I'm getting there. Okay, I'm leading up to it.
I'm shivering with anticipation.
I hope he cut his mic off.
Patient.
We are going to go ahead. We took every runner-up for the King of the Ring tournament. -2, which was Kurt Angle and Bret Hart, because they were runner-ups. They won the tournament. It kind of excludes them from this. And we're going to do our own King of the Ring tournament. We're going to sort of debate about it and everything and just do a special episode to kind of close out the year. So that will be on December 31st. Again, next week there will be no podcast. So just putting that out there so that everybody knows.
But also look to our Facebook page for our predictions of World's End that week.
Absolutely.
Wait, we have a Facebook page?
Yeah.
Yes, we do have a Facebook page.
Why hasn't anyone told me this?
We say it every episode.
No one has told me this.
Oh, okay, Jason.
Am I going to have to get the body to tell me things or the baddie to tell me things?
Maybe. Just maybe.
Because, I mean, the baddie will actually talk to me and tell me things. You all just, I don't know, sit in a room together and giggle, and then I come in and you all, like, I don't know, you stop your giggling, you look embarrassed. What's going on?
You know what? This is coming from the guy who doesn't read my my scripts when I send them. Anywho,
You didn't send them today.
No, I didn't because
Wait, you know how to write?
Yes, I do. We're moving on. Blue Demon Jr. has announced his retirement.
When did this happen?
Yeah, so per the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that Blue Demon Jr. held a press conference last week, December 2nd, to announce that he will be retiring from wrestling soon. He noted that he plans to name a successor, which would be Blue Demon 3, in either March or April. He will then work another year to 18 months before retiring, which is sort of commonplace in Mexico because once they announce their retirement, they start to backtrack a little bit because of all the bookings, that are coming in of everybody. Everybody's wanting to cash in on that retirement.
Yeah.
Which, if you do not know anything about Mexico, like Lucha Libre and all that, Blue Demon Jr., of course, is actually the adoptive son of the original Blue Demon, who was sort of the antithesis to El Santo.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know who these are.
There was a Mexican wrestler that I remember when I was a bit younger.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Pegasus Kid. Whatever happened to him?
we'll talk about that off the air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We won't talk about that one too much.
Oh, okay. No, I was just wondering, like, did he ever make it anywhere else?
Nope.
No.
We'll just nope. Just no.
Ever in the news or anything?
Nope.
Pegasus Kid?
Nope. Not Pegasus.
No.
Nope.
Huh. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
did he go to Japan?
He did have a stint in Japan. That is true.
Did he ever do anything in America?
Not really.
Really?
Nope.
Pegasus Kid?
Not Pegasus Kid.
Really?
No. We're going to move on.
Okay.
Move on from that one.
Well, it's just yeet to another one.
Yeah, we're going to yeet into another story.
Just yeet.
We're basically going to follow this one up from the story that broke last week about the whole yeet agreement between Jey Uso and WWE and Huff Manley and whatnot. This is coming from Cultaholic and then also Wrestling News. Wrestling News has learned that WWE was sent a cease and desist order last week with regards to the yeet catchphrase used by Jey Uso. Independent wrestler Casey Huffman, a.k.a. Huff Manley, first applied for a trademark on the term with regards to pro wrestling in 2021. Huffman, they put his actual last name on here, Huff Manley, is being represented by Stephen P. New and Dusty Gwynn. The parties involved are exploring potential resolutions of the issue. The catchphrase was blurred out. Okay, that one's a little old, but they have come to a resolution on the issue. Apparently, the phrase, the copyright on it was suspended in October of 2022. What that agreement was, what that resolution was, we have zero idea. So Jey Uso is able to use it now. It's not being blurred out. Are they using it on merchandise again? Like, are they pushing that?
I have not seen. I don't know.
Okay, we're still waiting on that one, but it seems like some type of resolution has been made to them. So.
From my understanding, though, although it's suspended, it doesn't mean like WWE can just automatically go and use it.
Yeah, but wasn't it like dismissed or something? Like, I thought I read something about that it was being dismissed. Like his claim to the yeet phrase was being dismissed. Not entirely sure.
I don't know, but what I do know is you're dismissing my questions about Pegasus Kid.
Yes, I am. I am absolutely dismissing your questions about Pegasus Kid.
Is there a reason?
Nah, we'll talk about it off the air.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Should I look it up now?
You can go ahead, but just don't announce it on the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to be like WWE on this one. But yeah, so that's
Why? Why would we be like what does WWE have to do with Pegasus Kid?
Oh, you will find out. The yeet but yeah, that's the update on the
Jesus!
Good Lord.
Just keep that to yourself.
Why
Jason.
didn't you tell me?
Because we're not bringing it up.
But we can edit things.
I know we can edit things, and I'm probably already going to have to edit a little bit in this one.
Was the Jesus too loud?
No.
Oh, okay. Wait, is it everything I've said about Pegasus Kid?
No.
Yeah.
Wait, did I say something else?
No, it wasn't you.
Did I say something I wasn't supposed to say?
No.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
I had to think for a second.
No. But anyway, yes, we that's the update on the Yeet catchphrase, and talking about the legalities and stuff and agreements. Moving on, Monday Night Raw will possibly be going to Warner Brothers Discovery. We don't know yet. It's still a rumor. PW Insider can confirm that this past Monday morning, TKO's Mark Shapiro, as well as WWE's Nick Khan and Paul Levesque, Triple H, were in New York City at the Warner Brothers Discovery's headquarters, meeting with WBD executive Bruce Campbell about potentially moving Raw to the WBD family. Campbell holds the position of Chief Revenue and Strategy Officer. We are told that the WWE contingent met with Campbell for several hours Monday, with at least part of the meeting taking place in a conference room usually reserved for David Zaslav. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly. Levesque, Triple H, was at Raw later that night in Cleveland. Tony Khan noted that he met with WBD on December 12th during Thursday's Ring of Honor Final Battle media call, which was the day after said meeting. It's still a rumor. If it does happen, I think AEW's done. They're finished. They've made a lot of mistakes in the past year and a half, pretty much. I don't know. Yeah. There is a possibility that they stay with WBD because it is a cheaper product for them to invest into, but possibly, moving them over to the Discovery Channel. And who watches the Discovery Channel? Like, seriously, do either of you watch the Discovery Channel?
I don't really watch much channels, to be honest.
I saw something on the Discovery Channel once about a wild Pegasus.
You know what? That's a horse.
Yeah, it was a wild Pegasus.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could AEW, like, that could be the final nail in the coffin for them.
There's also apparently a report that this meeting actually never happened because apparently the schedules didn't line up. But it's also being very hush-hush.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and then there was another report that came out about that they were just, quote-unquote, kayfabe schedules so that people wouldn't pick up on it. Which is a possibility. That's what I mean. It's a giant rumor right now, but the mere fact that it is circulating, there could be a grain of truth to it somewhere.
I'll be completely honest with you. I am fearful that this time next year AEW will not exist.
There is a possibility. There is a very strong possibility. I know that we talked off before we got on the air, before we started the podcast, we were talking about AEW and, what could possibly happen within the next couple of years. I think I'm in the belief that they can change course if they start now. And I think even though they've brought in another championship, I think the Continental Classic is sort of a start to that. But if they don't do something, it's not going to be there.
Well, like I was telling you all prior to pressing record, I think a lot of it's going to depend on who this whole devil character is. I honestly believe that if it is Jungle Boy Jack Perry, they're dead. They're done.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what the rumor is right now, is that it's Jack Perry.
Especially with the windshield spot from Dynamite this past week.
Yeah.
See, I'm hoping that with that, they're using it so much as a red herring that they're nudging it so much that people will think that's what it is. And then it's someone like Bobby Fish or Kyle O'Reilly. But if it is Jack Perry, no.
But if they are doing that, like sort of getting people off the trail, that's smart. Smart to do that.
They did use a different guy in the devil mask this time, though.
Really?
Well, if you remember the original one, that guy was a bit skinnier or smaller than whoever was in it this past week.
What if it's multiple devils?
What if it's Marco Stunt?
That would be something.
On stilts.
On stilts. That would
on stilts.
That would definitely be something.
I will say the one from this past week looked a little bit closer to like MJF's build. So there's also that.
So maybe the I don't know.
Could it be a wild Pegasus?
not that Pegasus.
No.
And I don't think that's a horse either.
Does Wild Pegasus have anything to do with Pegasus Kid?
No.
I don't know.
They don't?
Nope.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I don't think they're rabbit either.
Huh.
I don't know.
Okay.
Nope. But yeah, so that's the final nail, not the final nail, but that could be the beginning of the end for AEW, which is, I'll say this, if AEW goes under, that's going to be sad. That's going to be really sad.
Well, unless they go down under and do a show in Australia.
According to Tony Khan, he's got more money than everybody else. So
Yeah.
go ahead and do it. But I don't know. It's like I said, it's going to be really sad because they had a golden opportunity to be the number 2 promotion in the country, and I think Impact, getting ready to be known as TNA, is nipping at their heels on that number 2 spot.
How bad have things gotten, though, whenever you're then worried that Impact, TNA, which I think is a great product.
Absolutely.
But it is not a solid number 2.
No.
It's not.
Not like the one this morning. What?
Fair enough, Josh. Drink that coffee.
A Wild Pegasus.
But in all seriousness, I really think that that they can change course. But it's just I don't know. I think, and I told you both this before we got on the air. I think that bringing Collision on, was not a good decision at all. Whether it was for CM Punk, whether it was for this, for that, I think it was so. I think it was not a very good decision to do that at all, because I think that just adds to the spreading thin of Tony Khan.
It's kind of funny that Collision was allegedly for CM Punk, and now this issue of WWE Raw going to WBD is also because of CM Punk.
Yes. Like there is that possibility, because was it Bruce Campbell that he talked about in that opening promo on Collision, where he said they called him one Bill Phil?
No, that was David Zaslav.
Okay, all right. Well, see, there you go. It's
really, I love everything that Bruce Campbell's done.
I like his soup.
You like the Bruce Campbell soup? Yeah, the Bruce Campbell like chicken noodle soup is good.
Soup. Chicken noodle soup is good.
Not as good as a Wild Pegasus.
No, not. Yeah. But speaking of AEW, Kenny Omega is out indefinitely with diverticulitis. That it just kind of came out of nowhere.
It's really gut-wrenching hearing that news.
It is.
It gets you right in the intestine.
I'll say this: if you don't know what diverticulitis is, it can really mess you up.
Yeah.
Like it's what caused Brock Lesnar to retire early from MMA, because he was having health issues. I'm not going to say who, but I know somebody who personally, to me, who's very close to me, had a bout with diverticulitis earlier this year and everything due to it. And if Kenny's been feeling bad, which explains why the segment with him and Chris Jericho this past week fell flat. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish him the best. He needs to really start taking care of himself. Like his body's not going to. In all honesty, I don't. If AEW goes under, I don't see Kenny going to WWE. I see him just slowly going away, just like slowly retiring. But that could just be me.
I think I could see him going back to Japan.
Yeah, but not on a regular basis.
No.
Like I don't see that. Also, just to throw this out there, Charlotte Flair is also injured. She injured her knee with a match against Asuka on SmackDown. There were concerns post-match because medical personnel were attending to Flair. It is said that she will be out for 9 months. And also, speaking of Japanese pro wrestling, and we're just going to end with this on this segment, it was announced this past week that 8 Japanese promotions, Pro Wrestling Noah, New Japan Pro Wrestling, All Japan Pro Wrestling, DDT Pro, Ganbare Pro Wrestling, Big Japan Pro Wrestling, Dragon Gate, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, and Stardom will all sort of be a they're going to be their own respective promotions, but they're going to sort of have a working arrangement.
It's like the NWA of Japan.
Pretty much, and they're going to call themselves United Japan Pro Wrestling, and their first joint event will be held at the Budokan on May 6th. The background for this is due to the COVID-19 pandemic, made it apparent that there was a lack of communication and unified approach to event guidelines, and no common point of contact between the industry and national and municipal governments. There was also a desire to discuss issues surrounding wrestler health and safety, including in their online presence, to create a pipeline to other sporting organizations and to further the image of professional wrestling through issues of corporate social responsibility. There was a shared desire between members of the group to continue existing competition within the marketplace while also sharing relevant information and know-how on these and other socioeconomic issues. It really does sound like the Japanese version of the NWA.
You know, it's funny that you mention this because they continued later on to say that the key factor that really brought them all together was the fact that they all hate Josh Cole, not Bebe.
That could also
known worldwide.
I mean, you are the world champion.
Yeah,
you are Grill Out Predictions champion.
Oh, and since you mentioned that this was a joint endeavor, speaking of joint endeavors, Liv Morgan was arrested.
Yeah. You know what? We'll end on that story. I didn't have it on here, but we'll end on it. Yeah. Liv Morgan. It was Thursday night. What was it?
She likes the grass.
She does. She likes the devil's lettuce.
Maybe she's the devil.
Maybe. she knows MJF.
Yeah,
bigger than Marco Stunt.
That's true. Bigger than Marco Stunt and possibly better.
Maybe she's a wild Pegasus.
She could be a wild Pegasus. But so this past Thursday, she was arrested for possession of marijuana, and it was said that in the report that there was an odor of marijuana in the car. They got in there and they found some. Don't know what's going to happen to her because the WWE wellness policy doesn't test for that anymore. So I don't know how they would punish her there. I don't know the exact state she was in, so I don't want to speculate too much, but depending on the state where she's at, she could face some criminal charges for that.
Yeah.
It's sad to say.
If you continue on with the quotes from her, she said that, quote, I was trying to get over this debilitating injury that I have of hearing about Josh Cole, not Bebe. So she had heard about Josh Cole, and that had brought her so much anxiety that she was just trying to get over Josh Cole, not Bebe.
Not Bebe. But she was out with a back injury, wasn't she?
Yeah.
In all seriousness, she was. I think she. Yeah. They were talking about it on Wrestle Talk this morning while I was watching.
Yeah, I think the back injury came from having to carry Ronda through a match.
That's that's very true.
No.
Very, very true.
A wild Pegasus.
Yes. But that's going to end the first segment for us, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back to the second segment, we have something different. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that. We will be back.
It's time for more of the Grill Out. Here's Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second segment of the Grill Out, episode 19. I'm your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty, Trailer Trash Jeff Petty. I'm having an existential crisis and maybe a stroke. Anywho, we didn't really preview this second segment. Also, I'm joined by Josh Cole and Jason Lykens. But
yeah.
Mm-hmm. We didn't really preview this, but the top 5 thing that we did last week, I liked it, but it did go a little long, and we went about it in sort of the wrong way. Yeah, we
were a little confused. I'll say that.
Yeah,
I thought we were doing basically what we're doing today last week.
Yeah. So this is Josh pitched this idea of doing like Mount Rushmores of different wrestling categories and whatnot. So far we have like 15 different categories. And I'm going to go ahead and give me
not doing all of them today.
Not doing no. If y'all want us to do all of them, we're going to need some money. That's all I'm saying to that. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pick, do the little random generator and let it pick which one we're going to go with. So hold on a second. Just hold on. And we're going to do tag teams. So the way this is going to go is we're going to sort of do it similar to we did last week. We just go one at a time until we hit 5, except this time we're going to do it till we hit 4. And it's the Mount Rushmore of tag teams per your opinion. This is not, this isn't a collective effort from everybody. This is just our own opinions on tag teams. Trios do not count. So that means no Freebirds and no New Day. So.
Okay.
Strictly 2-man teams.
Strictly 2-man teams. Yes. And honestly, do y'all want me to just go ahead and go first?
Yeah, go for it.
The first, as soon as this category came up, these were the first tag team that came to my mind was the Brainbusters.
Yeah.
I had to put them in there. Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard.
Yeah.
You can still see their impact on the wrestling business today with FTR. And honestly, tell me a bad Brainbusters match in WWE or WCW. Like, those two had excellent chemistry amongst them, and like, come on, it's Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard.
I mean, those two pretty much were in my opinion, the best two of the 4 horsemen, anyways.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because Ric Flair, as great as Ric Flair is, not a tag team wrestler.
No.
Rick is pretty much just a singles. But when you put Arn and Tully together, you have so much great experience and great just chemistry there. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely going to have to agree with you on that one.
Okay. All right. You want to go ahead and give your so you're just going to agree with that? That's going to be your one, right? Or you, Jason? Is that going to be your one?
No, I'm not picking the Brainbusters.
You're not picking the Brainbusters.
No.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and toss it to you. Go ahead and give your first one.
My first one is going to be one of the foundations for a lot of modern tag teams. When you look at teams like the Young Bucks and you see their inspiration of the Rockers with Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, not the new Rockers with Marty Jannetty and who became Al Snow. You've got to go back to the Rock and Roll Express of Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. Doesn't matter how far away Robert's eye was, he was still always able to see the entertainment and to get that hot tag. And I have to go with the Rock and Roll Express as my first pick for the Mount Rushmore of tag teams.
Absolutely. I agree with that pick 100%. Yes, and Jason is correct. You can still see their influence on the wrestling business to this day. So, Josh?
So I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not the biggest or most knowledgeable in tag team wrestling, especially the history of it. But for this, I'm going to go with the Wild Samoans, Afa and Sika.
Okay.
Mainly just for the fact that they kind of more or less started this big NOI dynasty in wrestling.
Okay.
Which, of course, we currently have Roman Reigns at the top of the mountain right now.
Yeah, he is the head of the table.
Yeah.
Extra chief. So
that's all I got.
Okay, that's all you got. Okay. All right. My number 2 pick it's going to be the Dudley Boys. You've got to put the Dudley Boys on there. They've won tag team titles in pretty much every promotion they've been in. Mm-hmm. You can still, like, both of them are still very knowledgeable and very involved in the business. You can still, and you can see you can still see impacts of current tag teams being influenced by them when they were younger. When all of us were younger. And again, it's the Dudley Boys. It's the Dudley Boys, and yes, they're easily the most decorated tag team of all time. And anybody, if you don't know, even if you don't know, like what you said, Josh, you don't know tag team wrestling all that well, you know about the Dudley Boys easily. So yeah, that's going to be my number 2 pick.
Well, Josh, it's funny that your first pick was the Wild Samoans, because my second pick is the team that beat the Wild Samoans. Oh. And the one of the main reasons why I'm putting them on my Mount Rushmore here is they are the first ever black WWF Tag Team Champions. And that is the Soul Patrol of Rocky Johnson, the father of The Rock, and Mr. USA Tony Atlas. So, yeah.
There we go. Nice. There we go. Okay. All right.
So not to cop out, but basically I was more or less going to say what you said, Jeff, Dudley Boys.
I think with a lot of people's Mount Rushmore, you're going to have the Dudley Boys on there. There's
not mine.
I mean, the only team to hold WWE, WCW, ECW, maybe NWA, TNA, tag team titles, whatever,
also,
etc.
Also, et cetera. I was going to say also the IWGP heavyweight tag titles.
I'm pretty sure Bobby Blaze did it.
Yeah.
Well, by himself, yeah.
Okay. Coming from the Blaze head.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to jump back to Dudley Boys really quick, I'm sorry, but they also have one of the most protected finishing moves of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a very simple finishing move.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically throw the guy into the ropes and,
Don't the Usos basically do that now, too? Or did?
Well, yeah, because they're technically not a tag team anymore. Okay. So, my number 3, I'm not going to... I got to throw the Road Warriors in there. You've got to throw... The Road Warriors is one of the most recognizable ever. They're one of... The influence they have on the business, not just in tag team wrestling, but behind the stage with Paul Ellering being their manager and helping them with the business side of things. I mean, wasn't it, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't it during those days there wasn't that many, wrestlers with agents? Manager agents, like how Paul Ellering was with the Road Warriors?
Well, back then it was more so your on-screen manager was your legitimate manager.
Okay.
So they took care of a lot of the stuff. But Paul Ellering especially took care of the Road Warrior stuff. Like, he legitimately 100% was their manager, made all their bookings, picked up all their stuff, kind of handled a lot of their finances. So
yeah, and they had an awesome look.
Oh, yeah.
Even, and some people go back, but it was just a ripoff of Mad Max. Okay, there's a lot of things in wrestling that are ripoffs.
Yes, but I mean, there's a reason why things were called the Road Warrior Pop.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's even when they were, even when they were LOD, they were still referred to as the Road Warriors. I mean, even though you had Road Warrior Hawk and Road Warrior Animal. I mean, they have to be on the Mount Rushmore, at least for me, for tag team wrestling. So, Jason?
Well, I didn't want to mention them yet, but since you brought them up, it's the Road Warriors. It's Hawk and Animal. And for me, I mean, Paul Ellering is definitely in there with it. Not Rocco, the puppet that Vince gave Paul Ellering, but it has to be Road Warriors. I mean, even whenever they came back in the 2000s, they were still massive. If you watch a lot of their older stuff, 80s and 90s, I mean, just two massive guys that they were just amazing to watch. It was tag team wrestling for me.
Touche. Okay, so just to give a recap real quick before we get to you, Josh. So far, I have Brainbusters, Dudley Boys, Road Warriors. Jason has Rock and Roll Express, Soul Patrol, Road Warriors. Josh has Wild Samoans, Dudley Boys, and we are going to his third pick.
How old do I sound, by the way? Just with my picks.
You can definitely tell.
I mean, Soul Patrol, 1983. Like, I'm pretty sure when I was talking about Soul Patrol, my hip broke.
That you're on to something because I mean, both Josh and I have the Dudley Boys in our house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dudley Boys, who are these young up and comers?
Yeah. No, you're right. That's just Anywho, Josh, do you?
I think my next pick is going to be on a similar basis as the Dudley Boys, but the Hardy Boys.
I can't argue with that one.
I mean, I could, but
yeah. Well, okay. Do you want to try to argue?
No, I
with
mean it's not my picks.
Yeah.
I go on, Josh. Go on.
I was gonna say kind of like the recognizability, their influence on like the TLC matches with Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian and that as well. I feel like shortly before AEW, in those like couple of years, them two really brought up the independent scene more so than maybe others did, especially in the tag team world and their quest for gold, winning all those tag titles. But I feel like they had a big influence there, helping out the independent scene, and just their, I guess, accolades throughout the years.
Okay.
No, I mean it's great shouts there. For me, they're one of those teams that is on the cusp, but it just didn't break it for me. Like, your Hardy Boys, your Edge and Christian, your Los Guerreros, Dudley Boys even were on the cusp for me, but just didn't break it because I had to find room for Soul Patrol. Because I'm sure everyone remembers Soul Patrol.
I'm sure there's somebody. There might be.
I know there's that one guy listening who's like, Soul Patrol, yes.
I haven't heard that in years.
I was in my 50s when I watched them. No, I was also just a huge fan of Soul Patrol.
I mean, listen, I get that. I get it.
It's not like I'm bringing up the Fabulous Kangaroos, which were like the original tag team.
Oh, my. Really? That was the original tag team?
That was one of them, yeah.
Oh, I did. I had no idea. Huh. Okay.
I mean, I could tell you the original tag team if you want to hear that really quick.
Go for it. Yeah.
The original tag team was whenever Vince McMahon's mom was pregnant. Vince was a twin. And in the womb, he did the original heel turn and ate the other one. And then he came out and he said, I am the tag team. My other twin was such a coward that he forced himself down into my stomach. And that's how the barbershop was born.
I don't even know what to say to that.
That's probably for the best. You should probably just do your next pick.
Yeah. So my next pick actually is the Hart Foundation.
Okay. Yeah.
Jim Neidhart, Bret Hart. Like, yes, you could throw, like, I know we said, not the Rockers and stuff, but the Hart Foundation still, to me, had a bigger impact on the wrestling business than the Rockers did.
Yeah.
People still talk about it to this day. And it was sort of the catalyst to let people see, how brilliant Bret Hart was in the ring. And Jim Neidhart, I mean, what more could you ask for with him? He was the complete muscle of that team, but yeah, I've got to throw the Hart Foundation up there.
No, I mean, definitely one of my favorite tag teams from my childhood.
Yeah, and it's really a favorite of a lot of people's. I do have a Hart Foundation's T-shirt.
Do you?
Yes, I do. So I'm throwing that out there. I'm basing some of this off of the wrestling T-shirts I have.
Well, and really for me, a lot of my favorite tag teams have to do with the finisher. I mean, and the Hart Foundation had a great one with the Heart Attack.
Yes, and a great name.
Yeah. Now, I mean, the Road Warriors, however, I mean, it's a great finisher.
What was, I can't remember.
Doomsday Device.
I wanted to say Doomsday. Okay, I would not want to take that.
No. So my fourth one.
Okay.
And there's a few reasons why this is my favorite tag team. One, my brother and I wanted to be a tag team wrestling, team. And
was there math involved?
There is, actually. Funny enough, there is indeed math. And it is Scott and Rick Steiner, the Steiner brothers, because my brother and I, we loved wrestling, as in on TV and the amateur wrestling. And to see guys this big, like as big as they were, as fast as they were, as powerful as they were, and as big of characters as they were, especially Rick. Like Rick at that time was a huge character with the barking and all of that stuff, and Scott was...
He hadn't found himself yet.
He hadn't started doing math. But, I mean, you have the Frankensteiner, you have the Steiner line, you have the Steiner driver, which if you have never seen the Steiner driver, look it up. It is a terrifying move. Have you seen it, Josh? Where Scott has them in a vertical suplex position and then turns it into a front sit-out pile driver. What Owen did to Stone Cold, but start that in a vertical suplex.
Interesting.
Yeah, terrifying.
That's like something out of just a WWE game.
Yes.
How did he hurt anybody with that move? Oh, he had to.
I'm not sure. I thought I sent you all a video of him doing that in Japan.
I don't think he did.
Okay. I'll have to find that and show it to you.
I think, Josh, you did send something like...
Yeah, it was some dude just powering up a guy in like a vertical...
You've got to get at the microphone. This is how people hear you. I know you didn't do the radio stuff that Jeff and I did, but you have to talk into the metal thing.
It's okay. And the good thing is I'm actually in the control room right now, and I can control the mics a little better.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm in a control center.
Yes, so Steiner Brothers. That's my last pick.
Okay. Josh?
You guys already said it. Road Warriors, just super recognizable. Even though I wasn't big into tag team wrestling, like even when I was a kid, you knew who they were. Road Warriors, Legion of Doom, whichever name you really know them by. Recognizable, just their big football spiked pads, the face paint. They were attraction.
That's true. That's very true. And you're right. They were incredibly recognizable. I have to throw one more thing out, one more team, and I got to do an honorable mention. This just popped in my head.
That's not how Mount Rushmore's work.
I know,
okay.
But they just popped in my head, and I have to mention them, mainly because I am wearing one half of the tag team shirt right now. Bruiser Brody and Stan Hansen.
Yeah.
If you were in Japan and if you were working in All Japan Pro Wrestling in the 80s, and you went up to the match card, and you saw you were going against Bruiser Brody and Stan Hansen, you were going to be sore the next day. Because they were as physical as you could be. I mean, Stan Hansen was still rather. His style of his lariat is still. You can still see it to this day, not as much, but JBL really carried that on. And of course, I mean, it's Bruiser Brody. Like, I don't know. I just had to give an honorable mention to those two. Just missed out on the cut for me. So. Just to recap real quick before we close out this segment, the Mount Rushmores for the three of us. Me, I have Brainbusters, Dudley Boys, Road Warriors, and the Hart Foundation. Jason, he has the Rock and Roll Express, Soul Patrol. That's going to get some views. Road Warriors and the Steiner Brothers. And then Josh has Wild Samoans, Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, and the Road Warriors. There's some overlap in there between the three of us, which isn't a bad thing. Great minds think alike. But yeah, and we're going to do this every once in a while, when we don't have predictions or don't have something else that we want to talk about, like how we spent an entire segment talking about CM Punk, because that's the hot topic right now.
Still a hot topic.
I never cared for Hot Topic.
I would say that, but in my high school years, I frequent Hot Topic.
Jeff, did you have the baggy pants with the chains?
No.
What were those trip pants? You had trip pants, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
You did?
I did not.
I think you did.
No, I had even worse, actually.
What's worse than that?
I had Affliction jeans.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and I didn't buy them from Affliction either.
My life's so tough, I have to bedazzle my jeans.
I bought them
I'm
from.
so afflicted.
Actually, I bought them from Gabe's.
Okay.
Yeah, on discount.
I'll be honest. I think that's better than spending like the $120 for bedazzled paints.
Yeah, like I've heard of people like, oh yeah, I shop at Buckle. I'm like, what kind of job do you have?
Yeah.
You definitely making six figures to be shopping there.
I love these big roided guys wearing Affliction shirts. It's like, yeah, man, my life's so tough. Got to bedazzle my shirt. Yeah, look at me. I'm a big old baddie. Yeah, with my bedazzled shirt.
For the guys that don't like don't like glitter, they like to put a lot of glitter on themselves.
No, I like my sparkle shirt.
And I did have a couple of Affliction shirts.
Look at my sparkle shirt.
Yep.
Sparkle, sparkle.
That's going to do it for this segment, ladies and gentlemen. If
I like it when you shine a flashlight on me and I go with twinkle, twinkle.
if you want to email us, thegrillout95@gmail.com. Let us know who your Mount Rushmore of tag team wrestling is. We would love to hear that. And if you don't want to email it, you can get on Facebook and just like the Grill Out page. You can message us on there and let us know.
You can tell us how much you enjoy your twinkle, twinkle shirt.
Yes, you can tell us how much you enjoy your twinkle, twinkle
like
little
the
star
sparkle.
shirt.
And that Pegasus guy.
And the Pegasus
I
guy.
like the sparkle with the Pegasus kid. He's my twinkle, twinkle star.
Up next, we have On This Day in Wrestling History, the main event, and we're just going to
On
close
this
out.
day in wrestling.
Once again, here's Hollywood Jeff Petty.
And that was the first time that I beat Hogan.
Yes, Batty. We know that. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final segment of the Grill Out. We have been invaded by the Batty.
How about you all invaded me? I live here.
Why do you don't live here?
I live here. You see that little room in the back? That's where I live. Sometimes I go in there and I get me a juice box and I take me a nap.
Do they bring you chalky milk sometimes?
How do you know about my chalky milk? Have you been drinking my chalky milk, podcast boy?
You know what?
Huh?
You know
Nugs, too.
What?
know what?
Chicky Nugs.
Chicky Nugs, yeah. What you say in their ponytail?
Listen, I don't have the ponytail.
I wasn't talking to you, podcast boy. I was talking to Ponytail Pete over here.
Ponytail Pete.
Ponytail Pete. Yep.
Not baby.
Jeez, I'm not baby.
Not baby.
Okay.
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
Don't you touch my chalky milk, my chicky nugs,
Well, you
and
know
my
what?
juice box.
You know what? You should probably double check to make sure you're not bugged. Anyway, we're going to go.
There's no bugs on me. I don't have to stand here and deal with this. You know
Then
what?
go.
I'm gonna go get my banky and take me a nap.
Good. I hope you get some warm milk on your belly.
Wait, you mean you have warm milk here? Where do I find the warm milk? Where do I need to go?
All right, we have On This Day in Wrestling History. Okay, On This Day in Wrestling History.
Brody Lee was born.
Technically when this comes out, that was yesterday.
That's true.
Yeah, yesterday was Brody Lee's birthday.
I see why he hates you.
Why everybody does. So on this day in wrestling history, December 17th, 1906, since Jason wants to bring out the Soul Patrol, I'm going to go back even further than that.
Yeah.
Frank Gotch won the American Heavyweight Championship for the third time by defeating Fred Keel in Kansas City, Missouri.
You know, I may be wrong on this, but I believe that Frank Gotch invented ketchup.
Did he really?
No.
I was about to say. I know you got the Gotch style pile driver. I mean, that's what Minoru Suzuki uses.
Well, and Frank Gotch did coin the phrase, "You just got gotched." He would say that after he would give them a Hurricane Rana from the top. He would say, "You just got gotched."
Oh my gosh.
You've been gotched.
Oh my god.
He had merch that says, "You just got gotched up."
That, maybe. Just that would be hilarious if there was a merch table, like a gimmick table set up back in 1906. I don't know why I find that so humorous looking at it.
Gotch style. Oh
gosh.
Yeah, I need to copyright some stuff right now.
Yeah, you might need to, because we've had a lot of copyright talks here lately.
I might have a Gotch style shirt coming out soon.
that and a Sting Hates Josh Cole shirt.
Not baby.
Not baby.
Yeah.
Moving on, December 17th, 2000, the final Starrcade pay-per-view under the WCW umbrella took place at the MCI Center in Washington, D.C. The pay-per-view was bought by approximately 50,000 homes. This represented around 7% of the total budget for Starrcade just 3 years earlier in 1997. The main event saw Scott Steiner retain the WCW World Heavyweight Championship against Sid Vicious. In addition, the Insiders, Kevin Nash and Diamond Dallas Page, defeated the Perfect Event, Chuck Palumbo and Shawn Stasiak, to win the WCW Tag Team Championship. The other title change saw Terry Funk win the Hardcore title from Crowbar.
Okay, so
real quick, also the WCW Hardcore title was the worst title ever.
Yeah, it was.
It was pretty bad.
But this is also a month before that Scott Steiner versus Sid Vicious match.
Yeah, so if you're immediately thinking, oh, this is a match where Sid snapped his ankle, no. That was the following month at the Sin pay-per-view.
And that was a question that I asked off the air.
Yes. And real quick, wasn't the very last WCW pay-per-view Greed?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, all right. I think that's what it was, because I think he had Sin, and then Greed was maybe the month after that, and then they got bought.
Yeah.
In March.
There was Sin, then Greed, then they were gone.
Yep.
So
sour, sweet, gone.
So to clarify on your Starrcade, it says final Starrcade pay-per-view under WCW. It was just the final Starrcade pay-per-view because WWE revived it, but it was just a house show, although they showed portions on the network.
That's true. They did it in Greensboro, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So Flair country.
Oh yes,
he
absolutely.
made a special appearance.
So with Chuck Palumbo on here, I have a really quick Chuck Palumbo story.
Okay.
When WWE did a house show at the time at the Charleston Civic Center, the now Coliseum, a bunch of us would get there super early and wait out back so they'd come in and we'd try to get their autographs and whatnot. And a friend of mine had gone with me, and Chuck Palumbo was there. And my friend had never been to a show. So Chuck Palumbo was just going out and kind of like high-fiving people and, doing that like low-mid hand clap. My friend thought that Chuck Palumbo was going for a handshake. So he grabbed Palumbo's hand, and Palumbo pulled his hand back and took my friend over the rail with him and dislocated his shoulder. Chuck Palumbo, big fella.
Yeah.
Big fella. My friend was not. My friend was rather small. And so Chuck Palumbo pulled my friend over the guardrail and dislocated his shoulder. Not Chuck Palumbo's shoulder, but my friend's shoulder.
That's an interesting story.
Yeah.
To bring the story time.
And after that, I got Hurricane's autograph. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Hurricane was nice.
That's awesome. Okay. Last piece for on this day in wrestling history, December 17th, 2006. Boy, was that a long time ago? It seems like.
Almost
WWE.
20 years.
What is it?
Almost 20 years.
Almost,
Yeah,
yes.
I had. I graduated high school in 2006.
I'm about to make you feel so old.
No, I kind of did that to myself with Soul Patrol.
That's true. I was going to say I was in 6th grade in 2006.
Yeah.
I was 11 years old. Anyway, December 17th, 2006, WWE Armageddon took place at the Richmond Coliseum in Richmond, Virginia. Whilst the main event saw John Cena, I almost said John Batista, saw John Cena and Batista defeat Finlay.
Well, it's funny because you can't see John Cena.
No, you can't.
So what the main event saw was Batista and two other guys bumping for an invisible person.
Only in King Booker bumping for an invisible person.
Yeah.
I had to put that in there. The truly memorable moments happened on the undercard in the opening match. Kane defeated MVP in the second ever Inferno match. And in one of the most graphic accidental scenes in WWE history, Joey Mercury had his face and nose smashed with a ladder when a spot went wrong in a fatal four-way ladder match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. In the match, Paul London and Brian Kendrick retained the titles against Mercury and his Eminem partner, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Many Names, the Hardy Boys, and the team of William Regal and Dave Taylor. That is the match where Joey Mercury...
Where his face explodes.
Just went into a million pieces.
Yeah.
And that was probably one of the more gnarly accidents I've seen in the ring.
I was listening to another podcast, and do you know who it was that was the road agent for that match? The one who put it all together?
Who?
According to this person, the road agent for that match is the same person who said that this person was the road agent, Hulk Hogan. According to that interview, he invented the ladder match.
He did. Hulk Hogan did invent.
He also taught Melina how to do the split.
In fact, actually, he did. He did that as well.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he was also the booking agent for Frank Gotch against Fred Kill back in 1906.
Yeah. I mean, Frank Gotch learned to wrestle from Hulk Hogan.
Absolutely. And if you're ever doing like Wrestling Jeopardy, when in doubt, just say, what is Hulk Hogan? Who is Hulk Hogan?
Why is Hulk Hogan?
How is Hulk Hogan?
Why is Hulk Hogan saying all of these blatant lies?
Because it's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, brother.
But yeah, that's that is on this day in wrestling history. And just to sort of wrap everything up, the main event, December 31st, ASW New Year's Rockin' Eve from the Williamson Memorial Fieldhouse in Williamson, West Virginia. Bell time is at 6 o'clock, and the meet and greet is at 5. They're going to have Jimmy Hurt there.
And the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, baby. Well, I'm gonna be there, baby. Yeah, baby.
And the Rock and Roll Express. So if you got time, go out and support local wrestling anyway. Always support your independent promotions if you have the time and the money to do it. New Japan Pro Wrestling is on their road to Tokyo Dome now that the World Tag League, I can't speak. The World Tag League has wrapped up. They have a show on December 21st and December 22nd for the Road to Tokyo Dome show. And then Stardom's Dream Queendom 3 on December 29th. And then, of course, AEW on December 30th. And just like what we said earlier in the program, our picks for AEW World's End will actually be on the Facebook page. We would normally do them on the podcast, but number one, we're not putting a show out next week. We're going to take a break. It's the holidays. Go out and enjoy yourselves. And we're not going to put an episode out next week. The following week after that, which is when we normally would do the predictions, we're going to do sort of a special episode to wrap the year out. So, and also Tony Khan has a habit of announcing matches like a few days before the show.
And there's like currently, was 3 matches. Now there's 2 because Kenny is out.
Yeah, and I'm curious as to what they're going to do about that. But
how are we on time, Jeff?
We're actually running a little over, but
okay.
What you want to add?
Well, I was wanting to ask, like, as an adult, what was your cringiest pro wrestling moment that you yourself have done?
Like, what do you mean?
Well, I'll give you an example. Okay. In college, hard to believe, I was president of a fraternity. Okay. With fraternities, it's brothers. Mm-hmm. So my first address to the fraternity was the meeting after I had been inducted and everything was you know something, brother, and I pointed at every single person and continued to say brother, and no one was laughing.
Oh man.
So it was just me doing this terrible Hogan promo to the fraternity that I was just elected president of.
They were immediately regretting that.
Yeah, they were. I know that because some people told me that.
Oh, my God.
They were like, if we knew this is what was going to happen, we don't think you're taking this seriously. And
then you don't understand wrestling, brother.
well, and I told them, I was like, well, you know something, brother. You're probably right, but I may be crazy, but you elected me to do this job, brother. And then we had to have a private meeting afterwards where they told me that stuff would not be tolerated.
Oh, my God. I guess I don't know of any as an adult. The only ones I can think of is like when I got my headphones in and I'm listening to wrestling theme songs. I mean,
Yeah.
that's about the cringiest I've ever
I mean, but
gotten.
some of those are real bangers.
They are.
Like Dusty Rhodes' theme.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a count. Yeah, how did it go?
He's just a cop
Exactly. Like
working hard with his hand. He's got the cowbell at the beginning.
exactly.
What about you, Josh?
I
The love letters you wrote Sting?
Yeah, we'll go with that. I don't know.
You don't got one.
I can't think of one right at the moment.
I know he threw us a curveball.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was just a story that popped back in my head after these years of not thinking of my fraternity days.
And here we are, in 2023.
Yeah.
And on a podcast about wrestling and your fraternity days.
Yeah.
Pop up in your head.
Well, you see, I have a lot of stories about stuff that I did in younger days that was dumb.
I have my fair share, and I can't say them on the air.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we can't. If you want to donate to the Patreon, we don't have a Patreon. Just throwing that out there.
You want to donate to the OnlyFans?
Yes.
Really, because we only have 6 fans.
Yeah.
That's our only fans.
It is. It is. So you in Austria, thank you. I hope you're real.
To tag on to your main event this week and the upcoming week, AEW's Holiday Bash and New Year's Smash is happening, and there is not a Collision New Year's weekend.
Oh, okay. Probably should let that show quietly go away as it is.
Yeah.
That's just me. Okay, so do y'all want to add anything else before we wrap this? Before I just go ahead and shut everything down?
Well, with you two, let's try to go to a local show soon.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you all are free the 31st, we go see Jimmy Hart. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
That should be the 30th, not the 31st.
Okay, the 30th.
I thought it was the 31st.
It's the Saturday.
You see, this is something that we should figure out before it gets put into the script, guys. We are professionals.
I could have swore that it was.
Oh, it's baddie time.
I
You could have swore.
Yeah, it's the Saturday the 30th.
Saturday the 30th. 30th, Jeff.
Okay, but I have a flyer right here that says Sunday the 31st.
Okay. We see someone is sending out wrong information, and I somehow feel that it's Tony Khan's fault.
It very well could be.
Very possible.
Anywho, that's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and like the Facebook page and tell us what you think about the podcast. Tell us your Mount Rushmore for tag teams.
Should we put our tag team Mount Rushmore on the Facebook?
We could.
Oh, maybe it is Sunday.
I could actually do that.
No. Wait, when did we get a Facebook?
We've had a Facebook.
Why doesn't anyone tell me these things?
We try to, but you just don't.
What was that?
Nothing. That's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen.
You might be right on the 31st.
Until
It
next
used to be 30th.
Until next time.
Oh, God, we have a Facebook. Have you told them about the Facebook page?
Yes, I have.
Huh.
Until next time, everybody. Have a good one.
Who's this Wild Pegasus?
Goodbye, and good night, back.